telling the story of 3 friends who wandered into that wasteland, went mad before the 4th episode of The Simpsons, still had 3 to go. What happened to them after that is a thing of legends and myth. Some say they continued into the madness, only getting handsomer and smarter as they went. Others say that's literally impossible. While some still persist, they traveled into the very future. The future where we live now. Is it the past? Is it the present? Ooh, mysterious. All we know is it's a pre-apocalyptic wasteland here, where there's nothing but average as fuck Simpsons. The occasional puddles of awful. And springs of hope. For hope shall always spring eternal in the wasteland. Tits.
The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, the 6th Treehouse of Horror-thon, or Mayoween Wasteland!
Woo! Yes, it's survival horror now. We were going to change themes, weren't we?
Bump, 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 bump.
Yeah, so for those that didn't listen last week, we are continuing from our season 30 binge. On the same day for us, it'll be the next week for you, but continuing on from season 30, we are now doing a Treehouse of Horror-thon, all Wasteland, all the time. Here's the Wasteland Band, Jordan Frost.
Greetings, friend.
And BT Calloway.
Ahoy, hi.
And I'm your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill. So, because it is Mayoween, the time of the year that we do some non-classic era Treehouse of Horrors, because we unfortunately took off too many in the early days.
Been too bright, too fast.
Blew your wad early.
That we did. And today we are going to be doing the Treehouse of Horrors from season 20, 21, and 22.
And boy, you know what? After watching season 30, what a treat you provided for us. Thanks,
Yes,
Elliot.
To go back in time to a time when these were crisper and less dreadful.
Only just a bit crisper, though,
Slightly
right?
still a bit moldy.
So starting out today, we watched season 20, episode 4, Treehouse of Horror XIX, aka 19. First released in November of '08. It was directed by Bob Anderson, written by Matt Warburton. Overall impressions.
You're toxics and slipping under... No, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's THOHXIX, which is toxic.
It's like, yeah, some of the list trying to say thick. It's so fuck thick.
So even though this is our 6th Treehouse of Horror-thon, I keep forgetting how I structure these without the questionnaire. So let's start out with the play count question. How many times have we seen this one before today?
3 maybe.
I saw the ads for Homer in the voting booth.
Ah, yes, the intro sequence.
That's all. I've seen that before.
Yes.
Not the rest of the episode.
So this was, I think, maybe one of Simpsons' first, doing viral videos, because, yeah, I too remember this being a big thing at the time of, the 07 election then? No, the 08 election.
08 going into 09, yeah.
Yeah. So between Obama and McCain, and they were taking a shot at the malfunctioning voting machines or whatever.
Yep.
What do we think of this intro now?
Yeah, I mean, that opening just feels lazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just, let's get a fat joke, and everything's taken over, machines.
Well, the worst part is that they do it again in the 2012 election.
Oh, really?
They practically do the same thing again.
Oh, it's a shame.
All right, untitled robot parody. I got to say, I did like the anagram play at the start. I
wrote down Snort Farmers.
Snort Farmers, very good. So it's like a Transformers parody. Guys, what stood out for you from this section? Start with you, John.
I think we've talked about it in several other Mayoweens that I've been a part of, as you pointed out. Oops.
Yep. You're 3 for 3 for the Mayoweens now.
That I really preferred Treehouse of Horror, where they took a horror concept and played with that rather than making just a pop culture.
I think this one had my favorite jokes, but one of my least favorite plots.
Yeah.
So when, everything in the kitchen is transformed, I was like, is there something different about the kitchen? They're like, no. And then the toaster transforms to no. It's like, well, the toaster's never lied to me before.
Yep.
I like that line. That's good.
What'd you like, Jordan?
I don't know if I liked it. I wouldn't go that far. I'm curious. Were Flanders and Homer sticking out of the Transformers' buttholes?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, maybe on their home planet they aren't functionally their buttholes, but
Well, I assume they don't eat, so yeah,
On
there's
this
no
planet,
need.
it's a butthole.
I kind of liked their little conversation where Homer's like, yeah, Christmas wasn't bad. I got Seinfeld season 7.
Yeah. Which one's that? What's on season 7?
That's the one just before Larry David left. So that's like George's engagement to Susan and then her eventual death. And all that.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
With the toxic
Yeah,
envelopes. Yeah. Good one.
The joke I liked out of it was all the robots in Lisa's room, like, I'm radio, I'm clock alarm, or I'm three-way lamp, or whatever. And they're like, where's sex toy? Where have you been? Oh, where haven't I been?
Yeah.
But based on his design as a transformer, what is his original design? Because he's got like a coil.
Hitachi wand.
Really? You think it has a heating coil?
Yeah, you get the fancy model.
You're not
it
into
heats,
that?
It
Oh.
warms.
You must
Also,
try.
yeah, was that lamp called three-way?
Yeah. It's because of brighter, brightest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I got it, but that's not what three-way means, and everyone knows that.
That's the name for sex toy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, big dislikes out of this section.
It was just like, okay, stuff is happening and now it's over.
Again, it wasn't a horror concept.
Yeah.
Also, why did the Transformer need Bart to buy it? There was no real need. It
No.
seemed like it could
You had to go
transform
home.
anything
It just went
it
home with
wanted.
him so it could transform things, but there was stuff in the shop it was sitting.
Yeah.
So
You could have transformed all the stuff
Yeah.
in the toy store. Also, the vomiting the people was pretty gross.
Oh, the train? I kind of like that
yeah.
visual.
Yeah. And then why would it transform, shoot the Christmas tree angel, and then transform back?
it doesn't like angels.
And then it was...
Angels are the only thing that can stop robots.
And then it got really big at the end of the segment as well, like to fight the
yeah,
Megatron
true. It's
clone.
tiny in the beginning, and then later on it's a full-size car.
Well, there were some weird inconsistencies, like when the Simpsons car, which is pink, then turns into like an Optimus Prime-ish model, and
Yeah.
it just suddenly turns red, and it's like, Marge has a red car. Why didn't you just use that one?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have not made sense that Homer was driving it, you know?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been the part we pointed at.
Yeah.
Wait, Homer doesn't drive that car. Outrage!
Yeah.
But, sign gags. Bart picks up a slunky, and it's like, it doesn't do anything.
yeah. The
was
square
pretty good.
slinky. Yeah, I liked that.
I like someone's reading a paper at some point and it says Christmas occurs.
Yeah, which is fair enough, yeah. Every
Yeah,
year.
it did.
It's a thing that happens.
Factual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the line of, like, they give Grandpa 3 more minutes of oxygen for Christmas, and Grandpa's so excited. He's like, can I play with it outside? Can I?
Run along, you.
But then they overstep
Yeah.
it with him passing out outside, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he used it up so quickly because he was so excited. He breathed too much.
Man, I can't believe it. We're actually pretty much already through this.
There's nothing
Yup.
to this one. That's why I don't
Yeah.
like it as a story. Like,
It's real boring.
they transform some shit in Lisa's room. They transform some things in the kitchen. They fight. Marge tells them to stop fighting. They stop fighting. They enslave humanity at the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Who taught them foosball?
But I also kind of like the line of, does not compute, really. I mean, it computes a little.
You relate to that one, don't you?
It computed slightly.
Any other things, Jordan?
We've already gone through all
Yeah,
of my
literally, that's the
notes.
entire
It's like,
episode.
oh, good.
Recap.
Hooray.
I also liked the thing of Lisa going, oh my God, an actual present. This is better than last year when you gave me a box of your burps. And he's like, oh yeah, here's your stocking stuffer. Burp.
Yep.
That was fun.
Although that stocking inflates like it's made out of some kind of balloon material.
Jordan's stocking corner.
Christmas edition. So this is an extra tick against this one. They're doing a Christmas segment
Yep.
that's not a horror parody
Yeah,
in the Treehouse of
if you're
Horror.
going to do a Christmas segment horror parody, do Gremlins.
Or Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. I think that comes up
Krampus.
later.
Yeah.
All right, so if you had to rank this section and this section alone, what would you give it?
Participant.
Yeah, I mean, I like it okay, but it's almost a bronze. If it had a plot, I would have given it bronze. But it's just, the jokes are okay, but there's nothing to carry.
Oh, what's the... You may be doing it differently, but what are the two? It's like parody and horror.
Oh, yeah. How was the horror? How was the parody instead of
I
whacking
mean, the
us in
parody
the
was non-existent, really.
Because there was no story to parody.
Yeah, and the
so.
horror was not really there either. So.
I was never terrified.
No.
I was neither thrilled nor chilled.
No, because all of a sudden the robots are taking over and then all of a sudden they're not. Yeah, there was no build. I agree with the participant ranking for this one. All right, moving on. How to get ahead in advertising. So I think the big plus I can give this segment is the Mad Men style intro, which just stylistically it looked the part and there were some decent Simpsons references in it.
Oh, but boy, did you see Agnes as the pinup at the end?
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Oh,
Didn't
I
want
can't
to, but I
unsee
did.
that.
Is there anything you liked, BT, about how to get ahead in advertising?
there's a clip where they parody Planet of the Apes, which was written by Rod Serling. So this is indirectly parodying Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, so they're sort of doing a horror thing, even though they set it up as a Mad Men thing, and then it's just about Homer killing celebrities to make them royalty free.
There's a bit of a weird stretch between the introduction and the actual episode, but but that said, no, there's not really a whole lot. I hate how the celebrities are like, hey, what do we do about this? Let's just shoot everybody. Like, okay.
From heaven. Let's ride out from heaven.
And just shoot a bunch of people. And why is there always a running wood chipper?
Yeah.
Krusty wasn't even doing yard work.
And it was in a daycare. Like, why is there a running wood chipper in the play area of a daycare?
Also, I mean, this isn't an anal corner because...
Not an anal corner!
It's a Treehouse of Horror. But his whole head and his whole heart made it through.
Yeah.
Which was weird. Also, only his feet were in the thing and already like stakes
were coming
and
out.
it was very weird.
Yeah, and then Homer, that was just way too dumb just pressing on the heart. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Is there anything you liked about it, Jordan?
When did this episode release?
2008. November.
Okay. Because they do the Planet of the Apes thing, right?
Yeah.
Charlton Heston had died in April 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So were they making an actual real world allusion to what they were doing in the episode? Because he died 6 months prior.
I mean, even if the episode was in production, they didn't pull that scene, and they could have.
Yeah.
So.
It's just a kind of a weird thing with this episode, even being a decade old now, where it's about killing celebrities, and like half the celebrities they reference like were alive at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Prince. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, look, there's
Neil
another
Armstrong.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
he died.
But like some of the other dead celebrities that were already dead that they brought up, like John Lennon, like
That was a really bad Lennon. That's what my note was.
Yeah.
Fucking
all we
stupid.
are saying is let's eat some brains.
Which
Like,
they then don't do, because they're not zombies. They're like gun-tooting heaven spirits for some reason.
I mean, surely there was something that rhymes with give peace a chance where,
All we are saying is let's kick some ass.
yeah, sure, that's way better.
Give peas a chance.
No. I don't like peas.
Yeah, so I think this was my least favorite out of all of them, to be honest, because I was just trying to look for something that I liked, and I'm like, I liked it when Homer called Abe Lincoln penny-faced, but they also lent in on the gay joke with Abe Lincoln too much.
I have a question. Homer, to kill Neil Armstrong, throws a paper airplane, which does a bunch of shit, which then hits a astronaut who throws a golf club, who ends up hitting him in the thing. But then he takes off the helmet. He was the astronaut. So why do we have to do any of the other shit?
It did not make sense.
Damn it.
Anything else you want to mention about this section?
It's weird how bloodlessly Homer's head explodes, considering the gruesomeness we put
Oh, yeah.
Krusty
He gets
through.
like shotgunned, double-barreled shotgunned
Yeah, but
right
his
to
head
the
just
face.
kind of vaporizes.
Yeah.
And there were a weird Jimmy Stewart in Heaven reference as well.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was part Jimmy Stewart, but I felt it was also part like Jack Lemmon as well. It was kind of Gil-ish in that Jack Lemmon way.
Jimmy Lemon.
Very strange. And then Homer, like, why would he be in heaven, for starters? Why would he go
he's
to
just
heaven?
killed a bunch of people mercilessly for money. Oh, there was the one thing I liked about this segment. And it is something that I quote to this day, which is like, they give Homer the cash and he's like, he's fanning the
Yeah,
money.
actually, that was pretty good.
And he's like, I don't know, it's still kind of warm. And they give him more money and he's like, oh, now it's too cold.
And gives him some back.
He's like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a funny way to do a bribe. It's such a shame it's in this shitty episode segment, which also has a weird Rip Taylor joke.
Yeah, I think if I was having
You're
a
not
better
even
time,
dead.
I'd like that. Yeah, from someone needs to check my apartment.
I'm playing confetti everywhere. I'm Rip Taylor.
That was kind of his thing, to be fair.
I know, but it's also just saying it, not doing anything with it.
No.
BT, if you had to rank this segment and this segment alone, what would you give it?
I mean, I'm going to fail it. I just don't like anything in it, except for that fanning bit. It just feels lazy and stupid.
Jordan?
You raise a good point.
I
It
often
is
do.
lazy and stupid. Why on this podcast do I say stupid instead of stupid?
Stupid. It's
Stupid.
so stupid.
I've been considering experimenting with horror voice and going, it was quite stupid.
I don't know if I hated enough to fail it. I was like, maybe I can fall asleep during this one. And our participant,
I only just failed it, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I'm on the participant. Yeah, I was just more bored by this one. All right, now to the final segment. It's the Grand Pumpkin Millhouse. So this is
Yeesh.
like a parody of Charlie Brown. It's the great something.
Pumpkin, yeah. And it's, a beloved children's Halloween classic.
I think this is more an American thing because,
Oh,
I never watched Charlie Brown's
Yeah.
Halloween or whatever this comes from.
Yeah, it's a big staple of American television, much like the Christmas special is. And,
Yeah.
some of the jokes are pulled directly from that. I don't like Marge's wop, 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 which is...
I was just practicing my trombone. I'm trying to leave my bias at the floor here, but, I actually...
Let the bias at the floor.
Ow. Because I used to watch a fair bit of Peanuts cartoons.
Oh, they're charming as fuck.
Yeah. But there was a period in my childhood when I got up at 5 a.m. to just watch cartoons ahead of my family who would also be demanding the TV,
Yeah.
And in this time frame, they would play all these old school cartoons, one of them being Peanuts, Charlie Brown and Snoopy. So and I think they did a very loving tribute here.
Yeah.
But it's not the best either.
No, it's
It
all
looks
the, I was about to say, all the visuals,
The visual
and the movements,
parody
they've
is
definitely
great.
got that down. Especially the kids dancing, that kind of...
Yeah, and there was some awesome casting choices as well, making
Yeah.
Bart, Charlie Brown, Milhouse Linus, and Ralph Dog Poo or whatever, the one that's perpetually got dirt around him.
Yeah. Just
Pig
constantly.
Pen?
Yeah. Oh, right, Dog Poo was the one that they had on South Park. BT, what'd you like about this section?
I kind of like Ralph's just, your God is wrong.
Yeah.
It's just weirdly mean, but also kind of funny.
Jordan?
Just the joy with
sorry.
which he says it, I think, is
Yeah.
what...
The one bit of credit I'll give them for, that's not English, doesn't matter, but says something and then pulls the Charlie Brown face where his
Yeah.
smile
Yeah.
is squiggly
Good
line on
grief.
his face. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He says good grief after
Yeah.
Homer's bashing at the door with
Yeah,
that
again,
thing.
visual parody is spot on.
Yeah.
And when the kids are dancing and the twins are doing the
Yeah.
side to side dancing thing, and yeah,
I
it looks
think
really
that the
good.
music is a great, I'm assuming, royalty-free version, but still very recognizable.
this is
That's the actual one.
Yeah, they fought tooth and nail to get the actual music for
Nice.
this one.
Because I was about
and-
to say, if it's a royalty-free parody, it's pretty damn close.
I was like, there's Westpac ads.
Fuck you, Westpac.
But no, they actually got the music. And yeah, I think it actually really improves this segment as well. It's just, I don't know, I'm trying to work out what doesn't sit right with me about this one.
Is it someone Bart calling something super gay?
Oh, that was Nelson, but yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
didn't-
that's right.
That was actually something that Glisten, which is a gay and lesbian media sort of watchdog, that immediately they were like, what the fuck, guys? And it was almost a charming parody of We Wish You a Merry Christmas by Nelson, but then he ends it with, and you're super gay, and it's like, no, don't.
Yeah.
Bad
Stop
person.
it. Even in 2008, not cool, bro.
Nope.
Anything else that stands out from us from this section?
I think because it goes from such a strong parallel to Peanuts, and then it just descends into this Grand Pumpkin kind of taking shitty revenge on people.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit boring once he started rampaging, but they didn't do anything new with that. He was kind of just a bland character.
I hadn't seen this one before, but I'd seen the Robot Chicken episode where they did basically the exact same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they kind of went further and made it more horror
Well, yeah, they would.
with the kind of the vines and the stop motion and the Glaven.
Mm.
And so having seen that, I'm like, that's a better parody, I think, than this one. So I'm just kind of the stupidity of oh, you made bread specifically for pumpkins? No, it's made with pumpkins, you idiot, you fucking moron, stupid pumpkin head.
Yep.
Direct quote.
What? No, revenge. And then the exact same thing with the turkeys. You can help carve the turkey. Oh my
You
god,
eat
I can't believe you eat
turkey,
turkeys.
yes.
Especially when we stuff stuffing up there. Okay, there's something I don't like about it, is because you think the pumpkin as a viewer is justified. They're making food out of pumpkins, and of course a sentient pumpkin would be mad at that.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden he's all in favor of pumpkin separatists.
That was
movements.
weird.
Very strange. Again, him vomiting up all the seeds and everything. I was like,
A lot of
"Ugh,
vomit in this episode.
bleh."
2 out of 3 vomit.
Throwing up pumpkin seeds, throwing up people. Jesus.
Yep.
Any other notes, BT?
Lisa's kind of a jerk. I know she's playing Lucy,
Yeah.
but still, she's all Elliot's like, oh, we're gonna go back to the party, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with Millhouse. Sometimes his glasses fog up when he cries, and so she hangs out with him, even though she doesn't believe in this pumpkin. And then later on is like, oh, I didn't get to go to the party because of you. And it's like, but you never thought this was real. And then she punches him.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, way to be an asshole. It's like the thing I never thought was going to happen that you said was going to happen didn't happen, and I blame you. Smack. It's like, wow, way to be a bitch.
All right, so a couple of things I liked. I liked how Bart sort of admitted straight up that, Milhouse, this is a lie that I told you. And Milhouse is like, I still believe. And it's like...
Thanks for testing my faith, Bart.
Yeah. This sort of makes Lisa look more like a bitch because she was there for that conversation.
Yep, she knows.
I liked Homer carving the pumpkins as well.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you stupid crossed eyes and a dumb triangle nose.
And the dumbest shape for teeth there is. Square. That was good, but then I didn't like his whole Stockholm Syndrome thing after the turkey blew the fucking back of the head of the pumpkin, which...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Maybe if it's on and I'm sitting down. Again, mostly just for the stylistic parody in the last segment.
I mean, if I was forced to, like Ludovico technique, then maybe, like, strapped to a chair with eye drops.
With the Peanuts theme playing on repeat.
Yeah, look...
Yep.
Yeah, look, maybe the first and third segments, but otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, let's just get to the ranking of this thing.
The whole thing or this segment?
Oh, what would you give this segment?
Because I don't like a lot of the content, but like the visuals, so I might skirt it up to a bronze just because I think I like the way it looks.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat. Like, it's like bronzipant.
Yeah, let's rank the whole thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. That was awesome. But for an episode where you're like, meh, you give participant. But for the positive rankings, you go, okay, bronze, good silver, excellent gold. But for the best of the very best, you give cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. Yeah, participant, man. I wanted to like this more, but the content of each individual segment did not deliver. Jordan.
You said it best. An episode where you're like, meh, is exactly how I feel.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very participant-y.
Participant.
Pantrick-pert.
BT.
What?
I was trying to make an anagram out of participant.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Pantiprank.
Well, we have survived this first part of the Wasteland, and I dub thee a participant.
What
A
do
pox on
you
you.
define as survival?
We didn't die.
That's true.
Like by the
as far as
standard
we know,
term. Oh, that's fair. We could be, sixth sensing this shit.
ghostly afterlife.
Yeah, well, we have to finish
Purgatory.
the work of the index, and we're in purgatory until we complete it.
Or just ghosts live streaming.
Nice.
That would actually be a cool.
I'm not
I
gonna
would
lie,
tune into
that's
that.
a fantastic title,
Yeah.
and I'm going to write that down. 'cause
Live
that's
streaming
good.
ghosts. All they know is that they're stuck in like a recording booth, and their mics are hot.
Yep.
And they don't know what they have to do to get into
out.
either heaven or hell, but they're stuck in live streaming
Until they figure it
purgatory until they figure it out. It's kind of like
a little bit like Endgame, yeah.
like a
Not
Groundhog
Endgame.
Day.
There's a play where, three people are just stuck in a room, and they don't know why.
Okay, cool.
At some point, they figure out they're dead. It's where the line "Hell is other people" comes from.
Right. Yeah.
So it's called No Exit.
Cool.
So averaging out, this will be a unanimous participant.
Prank to Pat.
Yeah, this will be the first Treehouse of Horror to be dubbed a unanimous participant. It'll be joining other such episodes as The Simpsons, the weird Game of Thrones,
That comes up a lot.
The Girl Code when Lisa becomes a coder.
So close to having an idea in that one. It was...
And using Stephen Merchant, kind of.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Waste of Stephen Merchant. Yellow Subterfuge when Skinner pretends that Bart's going to go on the submarine and then Bart pretends that he killed Agnes.
Yeah, fuck.
Plots that we can't fucking believe actually happened. Also, the Burns and the Bees when Burns...
Has sex with bees?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No, he built the prison right next to
That's
the
right.
stadium with all... And Mark Cuban is crazy, guys.
Mark Cuban is crazy as fuck in
He
that
zip
episode.
lines into his own stadium.
What?
Nuts.
Crazy.
Fuck. All right, guys, it's time we moved on to our next Treehouse of Horror, which is Treehouse of Horror for season 21. Wasteland.
The madness has taken him.
Lion.
And we are back, and we just watched Season 21, Episode 4, Treehouse of Horror XX, aka 20. First released in October of '09, it was directed by Mike B. Anderson and Matt Schofield, written by Daniel Chung. Hey, what do we think of this one?
Much better.
A marked improvement.
I still didn't love it.
Love is a strong word.
I still
So
didn't,
strong.
I didn't really like it either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I was like, I'm still bored by this. Maybe I'm just tired.
Maybe you need some leeches on you. Drain the
I
sadness
need
out.
some hydration from crossing this 400-mile oven desert. I think I'm burnt out from there's
What?
a good one around the corner.
Yeah.
Just trust me, it'll be fine. You'll be good.
Why your compass has gone loopy.
No,
You need to
everything is-
recalibrate.
Beej, I think he's turning into a muncher.
He looks very munchable.
I've born a muncher, I'll die a muncher.
Play count. Have you guys seen this one before today?
Most definitely yes, but how many times? I don't know.
It is a mystery. No, I don't think I have, and I didn't recognize any of the bits either, so...
Yeah, look, I actually enjoyed this one back in when I used to watch the HD seasons quite regularly, and I gotta say, I enjoyed this one now. There's one segment that I'm not a big fan of, but also it has its merits. But let's get into that. The first thing, the intro. So, yeah, they're doing the Universal Monsters. What do
Yeah.
we think of this bit?
I mean, better than the dark attempt at making the dark universe. Ayo.
Hey!
Take that, Tom Cruise.
And
Have you
Universal.
finished The Mummy yet? Or?
No, I haven't got around to it, but
You've finished the first 3/4 or so?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
if there's
get-
no Brendan Fraser, then it isn't
isn't
the
I
Mummy.
would,
Yeah.
because I started watching because I heard it was terrible and I wanted to do a fun hate watch. And I'm watching it okay, not quite the right director, not the right lead, but this is not a bad little adventure movie. I'm having some fun. Why is this terrible? And there is almost an audible click where you can see they're trying to make it an expanded universe. Oh, this is when it starts to suck.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about this opening thing. It's actually became sort of a trope for the Treehouse of Horrors to sort of lean into the Frankenstein werewolf mummy.
The
and
classic horror monsters, yeah.
who am I missing? The vampire Dracula. Yeah.
Yes.
There's something that I like about the Universal Monsters, being confronted by the bullies and oh, your costumes are out of date.
I like that Jimbo lives in a society.
There was something that I didn't mind about the monsters being at the party, but then their wives coming to crash. It was just such
You told me you were going out to eat children.
We were going to, but then my man.
Yeah.
And then Homer's like, if it's in a costume, it's not cheating.
And then they murder Homer because they're evil.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember when Road Trip was a funny movie? I mean,
do.
If you're not
maybe.
in the same zip code, it's not cheating, bruh.
No, if you put peanut butter on your balls and let your dog lick it up, because it's your dog.
It's like,
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah. Marge in her sexy cat costume.
Feels a little out of character for her, but
I am still
yes,
into it.
cat noise.
Super into it. I'm just super into Marge, I think.
Oh yeah, it's well established.
I have problems, but whatever.
How is that a problem?
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a cartoon.
I mean, outside of that,
I mean, it's like saying, yeah, Judy Jetson, what a fox.
I mean, I've not watched it for a long time, but
She can get hella wiener. No.
what?
Oh, boy.
Oh, right.
There's that Wasteland madness.
So it wasn't a really strong opening to the whole...
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. The party thing was a bit stupid, but I kind of miss having a framework for which the stories are being told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the old ones always had a framework, and they were just something to return to, I suppose, as the breather in between segments.
I still think the best one they've done is that one with the telling scary stories and the, hey, Ma, we haven't got the eyes yet.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one. Like
yeah.
that, I think that's been the best framework one that they've done. And then there's nowhere to go from there. It's all downhill.
It's sort of the same thing, the problem that they have with including Kang and Kodos in them, because that seems to sort of be a Halloween tradition, but it becomes more awkward for them to do, where
Yeah.
they literally have to shoehorn Kang and Kodos in.
Yeah.
With
like
the first one,
the
they
Peanuts
did.
one.
Yeah, they were just dancing in the fucking crowd, and then this one where they were just in the
In the
crowd at the
audience,
play at the
yeah.
end. All right, so first segment. The title is probably the longest Treehouse of Horror segment title of Dial M for Murder or Press the pound sign to return to the main menu.
Is that last part? Did you add that, or is that
No.
really in the
Yeah,
thing?
that's really in the
on the
I
title.
did not see that, but okay.
So this seems to be like a big Hitchcock parody, mostly about strangers on a train, but incorporating a lot of other Hitchcock references. What do we think?
Yeah, I mean, stylistically, again, this looks great. It sounds great as well. They've got the Psycho traveling music, or again, a very
Yeah.
near parody of it.
But yeah, that's weird that they've called it Dial M for Murder. It's using the Psycho
Yeah.
music.
Well, it's good music.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It seems to be like just an overall Hitchcock tribute.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the bravery of this because, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first Treehouse of Horror segment to be done entirely in black and white.
You are wrong, Elliot.
Which one?
King Homer.
Fuck!
Check and mate.
Okay, first one from the HD era then. Boom.
Yep, that's fair.
That's first out of 4.
Hey, Jordan, what'd you like about this segment?
2 things. The one line I liked, Bart going to Lisa, hey, you're smart. I bet you like ideas.
He's like, I do.
And the second bit that I don't know if I liked, but I appreciated, was this weird Lynchian, Dali-esque like,
running through the room of eyeballs and shit.
Yeah, it was very weird. It had like, melting body parts and like Bart's head growing off Homer's head or something. It was very strange. And I kind of liked it visually.
Yeah, I think it's a parody of Hitchcock film I can't think of.
Well, that's the thing. Some of it was North by Northwest because like Barney or something tumbles off.
Wasn't that Hitchcock? I thought that was actually...
Oh, it's Hitchcock. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Hitchcock, they tackle him and he tumbles off the faces in the mountain, the carving. You know the one. Which is a North by Northwest parody. Yeah, so lots of Hitchcockian stuff. I'm sure they've done Hitchcock stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hitchcock is like Twilight Zone for the Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah.
Very deep well that they return to. How about you, BT? What'd you like about this section?
I like plenty on this one. Let's see. I do like when Lisa gets passed over for first chair or whatever it is she's getting passed over for. And
the reading competition.
Yeah, Miss Hoover's like, Lisa, don't worry about this. I barely spent any time on this decision.
And then, Ralph is like, hooray for different face.
That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I did like Lisa in that moment going, this is tainted, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
Yep.
I feel like that's a quote that I return to.
And I like Skinner's lameness of, Lisa Simpson in detention. My horoscope said I'd see something strange today, but I assumed that was the horoscope itself. I got a chuckle out of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta say, those weird pervs that were watching Bart's ass at the tennis match.
Yeah, they were following it intently.
They were following every cheek.
Tennis has trained them to follow spherical yellow things from one side to another.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
You're right.
I don't know. Maybe this was my favorite section out of the whole thing. Like, I did love the stylistic parody of it, and I loved the whole deception about it, where it was still about the kids being kids in some element where Lisa misinterpreted the whole thing, where she did a literal ding-dong ditch to Miss Krabappel, just like, rang the doorbell and ran. Whereas Bart was like, no, by ding-dong ditch, I meant kill that ding-dong and throw the body into a ditch.
Yeah.
I didn't originally like the line, but then when he went, yeah, you got to go and TP her. Like, I'll just TP, like, yeah, torture and punish her, and then ding-dong ditch her.
Yeah.
Yeah, the return was better than the original.
And we've criticised The Simpsons a lot recently for the bad initialisms joke, but I liked the TP one. That was good.
Because it was, tied into what they were doing. It wasn't just a random throwaway joke.
Yeah. Oh, and Miss Krabappel as well, where Lisa has the opportunity to
slice her
Come
head.
hold this blade. I wouldn't want it to cut through my neck.
Like a bagel. But conversely, was there anything that you didn't like about this section?
No,
Nothing I
particularly.
didn't
don't
like.
think so.
I don't know why Bart just suddenly turned out to be a massive psychopath.
It was a very, but again, it's the Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah,
We're
so
off
like I'm
script.
not like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's your teacher's bloodied head. The thing is,
I liked that though. You should have seen the look on her face. Here it is.
yeah. The weird thing is, right? He creates an alibi for himself. Lisa didn't create an alibi
Well, it's
for
one of
herself.
those we presume it happened off screen kind of things.
Yeah, that's the beginning of disaster. Is the presuming.
Yes. There is a weird twist at the end where Krabappel's like, oh, good work. And you're like, you can forgive that. But then Lisa like has this knowing like, yes, that's
all
what
along I intended to murder Bart.
And yeah, that
which
didn't
was
feel
definitely not a thing that was happening.
Oh man, the way she like just like flings his body away. God.
I know.
Brutal.
Yeah, anything else we want to say about this section?
It's a weird little bit, but where Bart confronts Lisa in the bathroom and kind of walks towards her menacingly, I like how he just holds his hand out and activates all the auto syncs.
Yeah.
It's a stupid little thing, but I got a smile out of it.
But there is something threatening about that for
he's
whatever
just
reason. Yeah.
Just slowly coming closer and closer. There's a great bit where there's some nice camera work from both of them climbing a ladder, and the trees all look, dizzying and high, and then you kind of cut back and just climbing a slide.
Yeah,
that
that was really a good misdirective animation there.
Yeah, but other than that, I think the parody was really on point for this one. Visually and musically and all the little details thrown in, sure.
And I kind of like Bart's line is like, we have the same dinner. It's DNA.
Yeah.
If you're going to rank this segment and this segment alone, what would you give it?
I might up to silver this one.
I'd probably bronze it.
I'd silver just for the black and white comparison.
And just even then, when they play with the lighting, when Bart's on the carousel, the shadows are shifting across his face, looks great.
All right, next segment. Don't Have a Cow Mankind, a sort of a 28 Days Later parody. What do we think?
Well, here's something I wanted to bring up. This is why I was curious when this episode came out, which is 2009. This is the plot of The Last of Us from 2013. Pretty much down to the plot twist.
Holy shit, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, they've done the whole this person is the survivor that could save us all thing. And that's not necessarily unique to Last of Us. But then when it's like, oh, no, in order to get you, we need to basically kill you. It's like, wait, that part is...
Yeah.
So,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog.
And they
Fox,
do...
if you want to sue, I get 10%.
And they do respond to sound.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, exactly. First
yeah.
thing they do is, don't make any sound. And that's so... I gotta say, it's feels pretty concrete to
argument,
me.
yeah.
I may not be some big city lawyer, but it seems to me these are the same plot lines, and I get 10%.
Good on them as well for doing the whole zombie movie tradition of not calling them zombies. I like the calling them munchers. That's a good name for them.
Arguably, they're not zombies because they're not dead.
Ah.
They're just crazy. They got a rage virus.
Which would be 28 days later,
yeah.
But yeah, what do we like about this one? We'll start with you, John.
There's a sign in the background which is truly horrific. There's a movie of Medea Goes to Hell.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
like, oh boy, that sounds fucking awful. God, the animation of Mole Man's head getting squashed and his brain and eyeballs coming out.
Yeah, his glasses land near his brain. It's like, was that worth crushing his skull for?
No, I didn't like that.
Oh, really? I loved it. Like,
it's just weird. I'm wondering how the writing process went. Were they like, hey, what if we had Mole Man's brains come out? Was that the start of it? Or were they like, well, we got to do something. We've got to crush someone's head. What happens after that?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I always feel like I come across too conservative when reviewing Simpsons because, like, oh, that is not the family-friendly entertainment that we're used to from The Simpsons. But, like, the Treehouse of Horrors have always been an exception to it, and I kind of like when they try to do a little bit of gore. And I don't know, I thought this was, like, contextual and...
Oh, yeah, it just was gross. I didn't
I
like the actual
head
look
crush
of it.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm just curious why the glasses bit came off.
Yeah, it is a fine line that the Treehouse of Horror works with, and... Because it was gross, albeit gross. It fucking popped like a...
Oh, yeah.
What's
zit.
something? Yeah. Oh, perfect. It was a brain zit.
Yeah.
Zit of brains. How about you,
Gross.
BT? What do you like about this segment?
I do like Bart's moment of, there's nothing to eat except for this. And there's like a perfect bowl of fruit next to it.
It's like
Like a
shimmering.
cornucopia, yeah.
Yeah. Hibbert is a badass. He's like throwing syringes and
I loved that scene.
just like calmly explaining things while he's taking them down. It's pretty bad. And so's Apu.
Tell
He's
my
pretty
wife
badass
I
as
love
well.
her. Yeah.
So, I'm like, wait, me tell her I love her or from you? I'll
Yeah.
just give her a high five.
Yeah, Apu is a badass as well. Yeah. I really like
I'll
his
have to push. Oh, that was great for Apu to sacrifice himself like that.
I meant
What are you
stop
doing?
at the bottom. Yeah.
To be fair, like, he didn't explain that part of it, but
Implied, I suppose.
it's worth it for the bit.
Yeah, I do also love the classic two movers moving the glass plane.
Oh, yeah.
And then they drive through. It's like, we need windows too.
Yeah. And that's the thing that stands out to me from this segment. I love the design of the munchers. Like, and I think visually this is a very striking segment where the sky had that doomsday grey over it and everyone was that pale in their eyes.
You can find that in the new box of Crayolas, Doomsday Grey.
And Munchie Yellow.
In brackets, soon.
Mole Man Brain Pink.
Oh, yuck.
I thought this was like, it felt long as well, this one, but I think it needed the time. Like, I really felt like this was a very well put together segment.
Yeah, for the most, there were a couple of bits that maybe like, I think maybe they spend too long escaping the house. But I mean, that's seconds. That's not a huge deal. But
I don't know, like, and especially in the first one where we didn't feel any suspense. We didn't feel any urgency with any of the plot. I kind of felt that with this one.
Yeah, no, it's like once the running pace goes, that keeps up in the badass Apu's vehicle. And I really like the line when Marge goes to shoot Helen Lovejoy and Apu's just like, you can apologize in hell. Like, I suppose I can. I'm sorry, that's just a great line all by itself, regardless of where it comes from. Apologize in hell.
What's the name for that thing on the front of the train? Like the pointy...
Cowcatcher.
Cowcatcher.
Yep.
I liked the cowcatcher
Which
on
I
Apu's
only know
car.
because of Simpsons.
Yeah.
Smithers deploy the cowcatcher.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I have a cowcatcher cut in my shirt, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything we didn't like about this section, though?
I suppose there's not a lot of 28 Days Later parody exactly, but that's not necessarily a bad... It's just more the theme of... nothing egregious. I do also like, you think there's a safe zone? Well, it's over there.
Yeah.
I suppose everyone knows Bart is the savior without anyone having to. But I mean,
they instantly start praying. Yeah, is a bit
but
silly.
Also, fuck it, because it's a quick segment. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, we've only got so much time.
I liked how Bart is like talking to Lisa and be like, "Yeah, I got you like super right here or whatever," and he's clearly rubbing her ball on his dick.
Yep.
Like he is rubbing his balls all over that bowl to serve the soup to her.
She can be reassured in that she is not going to become a muncher.
Not going to become a muncher, but man, at what cost?
Oh.
Well, also, like, there's clearly, like, chicken carcasses in that soup as well. Like, she's had to sacrifice her vegetarian.
To live, yes.
Yeah. To live, I'm going to eat chicken dick soup.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't like about it is that, okay, Bart sees the hamburger and, like, breaks out of the house to get it, then come back, eats it, and then has the whole thing, and then he's the one that says, wait, I wasn't turned.
Yeah.
So
Didn't
that's
he
like,
think he might be?
Yeah, that's like implying that he went into it knowing the risk, accepting his fate that he will get turned if he eats that thing.
I mean, give us a line and he's just like, I might turn into a monster. Worth it.
Yeah, but that burger, it looks so good.
It did.
It looked good.
Yeah, grain-fed cow, fed to other cow, then fed to people.
Because wasn't that the basis of mad cow disease?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That cows were fed other cows?
Yep.
What, really?
Well, yeah. And that's why that second cow that becomes the patty has
the
got like
spiral
crazy eyes. Yeah.
It was mad. Mad, I tell you.
Who put that burger out?
It was obviously there right before the chaos began and just sat there.
Yeah, they were serving it, and then all of a sudden chaos began. So.
And 28 days later, because it's fast food, it just, remains intact.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say about Don't Have a Cow Mankind?
Didn't like the joke of Homer hitting the phone with Bart.
No, I wasn't a fan. And I wasn't a fan of him, like, turning his back on Abe either.
Yeah, seemed stupid.
I'm your father and I need help. I can't understand this bunch of talk.
Yeah, a little too sad. Like, if the dialogue had been different from Abe, it wouldn't have been, but,
And also I thought the joke line was like, Dad, that's the last book in the world. Oh, Arsenio Hall, go for it.
Yeah, and it's like, you really have one book in your entire house.
And how do you know that's the last in the world? Like,
yeah, Lisa.
What'd you do with the other books?
Yeah, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Oh, there was a decent Rainier Wolfcastle thing. Come to me if you want to live.
Another politician failing to live up to his promises. Little heavy-handed, but, I always enjoy a good Terminator reference. So.
I saw a really great tweet the other day that was like, Robert Patrick on the set of Terminator 2 surprised his co-workers when the jail cell door refused to open. He just saved the scene by melding through the metal bars.
Well, he's a professional. I mean,
yeah.
If you had to rank this section and this section alone, what would you give it?
Bronze.
Bronze.
I'd probably give it a silver. I just think stylistic. Yeah. Look at me over here with my silvers.
With your face.
All right, the last section. There's no business like Mo business.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the shift in format where they're kind of doing it like it's a play, because I think that keeps some of the more horrible aspects from being horrible, and it keeps Mo from being too much of a creepy predator, because he's playing himself as a creepy predator.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice little shift in just presentation, and B, keeps the terrible things from being too terrible.
Yep. John?
Just don't hinge an episode on, or most of an episode on, Julie Kavanagh's singing voice.
It's fair.
To be fair, you could do worse.
Yeah. It was just not good. No offense to Julie. Like, she's been doing this for 30 years now.
It's got to be a tough voice to sing in.
But yeah, it's not a good singing voice.
I will say, though, I thought the lyrics for this one, except for one fucking egregious bit, were actually really clever. Like, Marge going like, these rosy bubbles in my nosy make me want to have more.
Yeah.
That was good, and it's like cuddling, it's like clean clothes or cocoa, and you think she's going to say marshmallows, and she says mixed with rainbows. Fantastic wordplay there.
Yep. And then the barflies are like, it's like drinking your best friend.
Yeah, I think this was fun.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bad bit of it, though.
There's a tricky bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Where Homer's big solo song about how gay he is.
Yeah. He'd try every man from here to Timbuktu, he would.
Yes. Now, to be entirely fair, they don't say that being gay is bad. bad, just that he has incredible zeal for it. Still weird as fuck and really kind of awkward.
It feels like the punchline is that he's sucking dick.
Well, yes, indeed. It's still uncomfortable. I'm trying to give it as much...
I mean, it just becomes like him listing off a bunch of countries. Like, that's sort of the problem that I have with it.
Yeah, it's still not good.
Which is a shame because, again, I liked the play stylistically and, like, even when Homer rushing back after his big solo number going back and he's like, oh, shit, I have to fill.
Yeah, get a stall for a second while he gets in costume.
Ran into an Irish person the other day. Oh, really? No, O'Reilly. Oh, come on, that's...
Fine. You're allowed to say it. I'm not.
Yeah, you can't say the O word.
The O apostrophe word. What else stood out to you from this section?
Mo just says, well, you may notice I put on cologne and shaved my knuckles.
Good move, Mo.
Yeah, I didn't actually have a lot of notes still on this one.
Oh, I like that Mo tried to unplug his drain cloggage with a snake,
yeah,
but it was a literal snake.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we know he's a snake handler, so.
Yeah. Jordan?
I like Bart, Linda, and the other one.
Yeah. And Homer left this letter for you that it's written in my handwriting with my mannerisms and speech patterns. Dear Midge.
Yeah.
That is a bit weird. He knows her name.
If you haven't left me by now, what the hell's wrong with you?
Can I recommend Mo?
There is a terrible crime at the very end. Homer and Marge are sharing a beer together, and they're drinking it with straws.
Yeah.
Who drinks beer? What animal?
Lovers, Jordan.
No.
Lovers.
Even then, you don't drink beer with a straw. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh, that's been flavored with blood.
I mean,
yeah, I mean that's creepy on its own, but yeah.
Yeah, and my only other note about it is that it is Mo's like creepy fetish song at the end.
Yeah, I do got on it.
I can only make love in the back of a hearse as long as I'm dressed like a Civil War nurse.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I'll go through your purse.
Yeah.
Hey, that's his kink. Don't kink shame.
No.
Although we've yet again had another musical moment in an episode of this. This has been our musical wasteland. It's been ridiculous.
And my final note on this segment is I like that Homer was fighting with the Mo doll. Again, playing into the play thing. Do you guys have any more notes about this segment?
I put my book away. I'm done.
If you had to rank this segment and this segment and that?
If it wasn't for the black hole of an awkward bit, I might have silvered, but that really does... But then, I do like a lot of the music and the wordplay. I'm going to go with a safe bronze, but it's got mixings of silver in there.
Jordan's?
Just this segment alone, I didn't love it. I think I'm going to give this one like a participant.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a bit like, oh, another song. Great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Beach. I'm giving it a bronze. Could have been a silver. Black hole, bad. So, overall with this Treehouse of Horror, how do we think they balance the parody and the horror with this one?
Well, I mean, all these ones had plot lines, and they, things happened, and they didn't feel just a bunch of stuff mushed together. So, for parody, yeah, pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It was a marked improvement on the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the animation was a little bit better as well.
Yeah.
And it felt like they used all the time. The previous episode, I felt like, did they just use like 3 minutes of that 7 minutes? Did I miss 4 minutes somewhere of... Yeah, it felt really underutilized. This one, they fleshed all the stories out pretty well, so...
You know, which is actually a surprise to me because the intro segment is the only one where I feel like, why are we spinning the fidget spinner here? Like, this is clearly wasting time where each of these segments, I totally agree with you. They felt like they used the time very effectively. Yeah. The only one I think that they let down the horror element is the final segment as well because it just felt like a musical, but
it was meant to be a shift in tone.
Yeah, but it sort of got like a Sweeney Todd vibe to it, I guess, with like the macabre musical sort of thing. Yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Sure.
Yeah, probably more Hangover than anything.
A Treehouse of Hangover.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice one. I see what you did there.
Horror Hangover.
Let's rank this though. I'm going a bronze. I know that for the segments I went silver, bronze, which probably means I should edge a bit higher, but bronze isn't necessarily bad. It's okay. You're going to have an okay time when you watch this thing. Jordan.
I'm going to give it a bronze as well. I guess I thought that I was a little bit bored of it halfway through, and I think that was just because of the musical third act. It was just like, oh, this is really tiring. But I still kind of overall was like, it's better than what I expected and what I'm used to. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Cat noise.
BT?
I'm also going to go with the bronze because I went silver, bronze, bronze. It's a higher bronze as well. Because I had a fair amount of fun with this one, but they're not taking away too many great jokes or too many great lines. But overall, hey, they're just fun plots that are wacky and horror and stuff. I ran out of words, so...
Yeah, you
ran
did.
out of
the thing with the breathing and the letters.
Well, this is our highest ranked episode from a Wasteland.
Whoa.
Of a unanimous bronze.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Sometimes you wander the wasteland, you find shiny bits of bronze.
You
can sell that for scrap.
Metal detector.
So, a Treehouse of Horror that we also ranked unanimous bronze was Treehouse 18, which had the E.T. Go Home with the Bart found Kang and the Mr. and Mrs. Smith parody, and also Bart going in the heck house that Flanders made. Yeah, that was a weird one.
It turns out he is actually the devil.
Yeah, that's weird. I can't...
Oh, yeah, fuck, that was weird.
Yeah, I actually can't believe we ranked that high. That, like, looking back, I'm really? All right, now let's go to our final stop on the Wasteland.
The journey nears the end. Yes,
The Oases.
excellent.
They're so close.
Where we go to Treehouse 21 in season 22. We will be back.
Yes. In fact, we're right behind you.
We will be back. We will be right back. We will be back.
We're gonna grab a snack.
And we are back, and we are at the end of the Wasteland.
Yeah. The help is inside.
Well done. I actually didn't know we were going to complete this tonight. I thought we'd have to delay at least one episode until tomorrow morning.
I was flagging that last episode. I was like, I'm done. I'm done for the night. But
I mean, so was I, but I've actually gotten a weird boost of energy.
yeah. Yeah. You inspired me with your talk and your words and
Rousing speech.
You're right. It's in the spirit of the Wasteland.
That's right.
To just fucking push through, because otherwise you die.
And it's like, this being the horror wasteland, it's like right at the end and all hope is lost. We don't think we can make it anymore. A rousing speech has pushed us to the end.
And
And
then
here
there's
we
Daniel
are.
Radcliffe playing Edward Cullen.
Yes, trying to drink your delicious blood. Delicious blood.
And bits of sick.
Excellent reference.
Mankind. That word should have a new meaning for all of us today. We can't be so consumed by our petty differences anymore.
No, we can't.
We will be united in our common interests, in our common index. Perhaps it is the fate for us today that it is the 21st of April, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We are fighting for our right to live, to exist, and should we win the day, the 21st of April will no longer be known as our wasteland holiday, but as the day that we declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Wasteland, where we just watch. Thank you. I deserve it. Where we just watched Season 22, Episode 4, Treehouse of Horror, XXI, aka 21. First released in November of 2010, directed by Bob Anderson, written by Joel H. Cohen. Overall impressions, what did we think?
Blah.
Let me think. Dumb. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was dumb. The middle one was probably the best, but it was still dumb.
Oh, that was your best? Wait,
I hated the first one, and I hated the third one.
Yeah,
so
I can
by
get
process of elimination.
Yeah, middle one I would say is the best. Actually, no, I'm going to say the introduction's probably the best.
Yeah.
It swung a bit rapidly because we start off and, Frink's talking about, if you don't want to see all this horrible Simpsons violence, I can fast forward through. I like how he walks past the X-ray machine. He's got the alien
the
xenomorph
fucking,
in him.
Yeah.
But then he turns to dust, and that's stupid. But then I really love the monster
but-
Because he clicks himself.
Yeah.
No, I really liked, because we often criticize Frank's whole glavy routine, but like him skipping through his entire alive for a while, no, I'm dead. I liked that.
Yeah, but then the monster office, that was great.
Oh, Monster Mifflin, yeah, I was a fan of that.
Oh, yeah, and it ended with a Wilhelm scream, so that's always nice.
Yeah. And then the next thing started with a Wilhelm scream as
They
well.
had like 3 Wilhelm screams in the next
Okay,
one.
one. Just one is all you need.
You only need one.
It's the
But
Easter
it's got to
egg,
be a guy falling off a horse.
preferably.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But yeah, just on the
Or
Monster
a bridge.
Mifflin thing, like, I'm a very, very big fan of The Office, and like I've seen that intro a million times, and I've got to say they did some really awesome, loving tributes to that.
Yeah.
Like the witch sharpening her own finger in the
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's just her bone.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
And there was the mummy doing the paper shredding
Yeah.
thing like Dwight does with his card, but
It
it's
gets
like
the bandage in there and
perfect.
And they're like adjusting the little like knick-knack.
the
Yeah.
Frankenstein statue,
Yep.
yeah. Like it was a bit tediously set up. Monster like works like
Office,
Donovan. Yeah, it was bad setup, but
Yeah.
I thought it looked great. Anything else about this intro?
I did like the little, well, it wasn't a sign yet. You know how they do the bat growing or
Yep.
like, what, forget I
a
pronounced it like
horrified
that.
names.
Whatever. But I did like the one that was Joel Cohen will die in 187 seconds. It's very specific. I
Take
don't know
that,
what,
Joel H.
I
Cohen.
don't know what happened 187 seconds directly after that, but presumably
How long is 187 seconds?
3 minutes and 7
Alright.
seconds.
So the first segment, War and Pieces. So this is like a Jumanji parody where the board Bart and Milhouse are playing a board game that eventually takes over all board games, which take over Springfield. What do we think?
Yeah.
It's dumb because they say like, oh, you've got to like play the game to end this whole thing. But
Yeah,
like,
but then the game ends with him finishing Mousetrap. It's like,
Yeah.
that wasn't the game.
no,
you were
no,
playing
well,
Satan's
that's the thing.
Path.
They're like, no, you have to play all the other games. Like, why aren't you playing that game? Whatever the fuck that.
Satan's Path. I will say I like the line of, hey, you know it's got to be good if Satan put his name on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there were elements of this I liked, but I think this is sort of a good thing with us doing this back-to-back with a bunch of the other Treehouse of Horrors tonight, because a lot of the things I didn't like about this one are the same problems I had with Untitled Robot parody.
It's just, it's a bunch of stuff smashed together, and that someone was just bored and in their games rooms like, I don't know, Homer's playing Snakes and Ladders, and he's like, oh, I climbed a ladder, oh, I fell down a chute, oh, no, I'm up another ladder.
Oh, no,
and that
I'm
just went
there.
on, he's like,
But yeah, like with the other one, there were a bunch of fun Transformers references, and the same here, there were a bunch of fun board game references, but it wasn't tied to a cohesive plot.
No. The
it's
other
just
thing,
wacky shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to get all technical.
Or anal.
Slinkies aren't a board game.
Yeah.
Yes!
Like,
Because they were just in the games room when the writer was bored.
yeah, I guess so.
I actually have a small in the sense that when there's some of the Springfieldians have been turned into dice for Yahtzee,
Yep.
but Mel has been turned into one, and he'd be a terrible dice because the bone is still through his head, and it couldn't land on both sides.
Couldn't
It is
land
not
on
a fair
4
dice.
or 3.
Yeah, that is a terribly skewed dice.
Let's try and find some positives. What did we like about this section? I'm going to start. I liked the misdirect with Marge sort of criticizing Milhouse and Bart about, oh, you're playing this game for children or whatever, and they'll,
Reverend Lovejoy's playing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's like, die.
Yeah, he's like, kill the wounded. Fucking hell.
I liked that. What did
Yeah.
you like, Beach?
I like the injuring of Milhouse. So Bart hits him in the eye, and he's my non-lazy eye, and then Marge is like, we're going to get you some safe board games, smacks him in the face with a corner.
My other eye.
There was a minor detail that I really, really liked. So the big operation dude is terrorizing whatever.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
one of the barrel of monkeys steals the funny bone or whatever out of his leg. For when he walks off to chase him, his leg from that point down is all floppy.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a little bit of that. I liked ragging on all the shit games, especially Mousetrap, like
Yeah.
how hard it was to set up and it never fucking worked anyway. And he just has to kick it to like get the mouse to catch. Sad, kind of weird moment in that Milhouse is just really happy to die.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
maybe I'm
fun.
just tired of living.
And then it just
and-
drops in the ocean, Titanic
I love
style.
Titanic, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he's just got this smile on his face as he fucking drowns.
He's like, thank God it's over.
And it was a weird thing where they just made their way out to sea because of Battleship, and then they were saved because of Scrabble
Battle boat.
pieces. Oh, Battle Boat.
Battle boat, because you don't want to get
Oh,
tied
yeah.
up with those
But
that
we,
Mattel
Neil-
lawsuit.
We nearly got another Scrabble ship reference.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
But tying into what you were saying, Jordan, I think this is what bugged me most about this section is it was so trying to avoid getting sued, like with Yatsu, and the way that they just rolled out the names of all the games that were PAL ports, like was shit, tiddlywonks and all that shit.
We laugh, but have you seen the game section at like a Target or a Big W where it's like instead of Connect 4, it's 4 in a row, or who's that? Or like there's all these off-brand games and you're like, ravaging rhinos or whatever is not far off from the truth.
I think my problem with this segment is, instead of it being a Bart Milhouse adventure through all these games, we kind of just bounce from one thing to another, and then in between they kind of have this little adventure, but you don't see most of it, and it's just like,
no, it's a gag factory, like Selma with the mystery dude, and then like that was their way of shoehorning Kang and or Kodos into the... Anything else you want to say about this section?
My last note is a really negative one of they just play Hangman and die.
Yeah, what a fucking ending, right?
It's like, but this is over. Why does it look like you're in an old western town? If there's no games come to life anymore, why are you there? And then it's just like the dumb thing of, we've got one guest left. Three?
Fuck off, Milhouse, you stupid piece of shit.
Again, this is a worse version of a joke that I loved where Milhouse's, spell choke. That's easy. F. Still, that is one of the greatest jokes of all time. Another joke that I love is when they do pull up Satan's curse game, Bart's like, I'll be the demon, and Milhouse, you can be the thimble. I'm always the thimble.
Yeah, I did like that, yeah.
Yeah, I love in Satan's path that there's still a thimble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the Wiggum chess thing. What'd you guys think of that?
It just kind of went on too long. Was it a terrible bit? But
It's
gag. Really stupid, like, oh, no, we'll be fine because of this. And
it's 3 steps away and 1 to the right. We'll be fine.
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
2,
right.
Whatever. I like that, he gets the metaphor wrong, but he's like, I did just get crushed. Can you maybe leave me alone?
Can you, like, give me a better slack?
That was good, but
took too long to get there.
The rest of his body was, like, really squished up and, like, bulging out under that chest piece. It didn't look good.
It would have been more satisfying if the bottom half of him popped out of the top half of him, a la Mole Man in the last episode.
Oh, God,
although, and I will say the tone that I really didn't like is Rod and Todd just get obliterated by these falling stick things. Like, there was a reasonably bloodless episode, even when Wiggum gets crushed, there's no blood, and they just get liquefied.
Kaplunk.
No.
That happens to everyone.
All right, so that about does it for War and Pieces. How about Master and Cadaver, The Adventure on the High Seas?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is my favorite just for being the least lame of the 3.
Yeah, the least wacky for the most part. Yeah. And honestly, this would probably make a pretty decent short story or movie or something.
Yeah, the music was pretty cool, and it reminded me of, God, was it Isla Fisher? Was that movie that was called The Triangle or something like that, where it was a weird loop?
Yeah. It's not Isla Fisher. It is that other Australian actress.
Yeah.
But I know the one you mean. I like that movie.
Sophie Monk.
No, but you're not far off.
Natalie Bassingthwaite.
From Rogue Traders.
Yeah, who married Roy Thistlethwaite, and they become the Bassingthwaite Thistlethwaites.
What, really?
No.
I wanted to believe it.
But for the purposes of this podcast, yes.
We had an episode recently, fucking
Thirsty Traders.
Bukowski. Jane Krakowski and John Krasinski read Bukowski. What can we do with Natalie Bassingthwaite and Ray Thistlethwaite?
Yeah.
There's thistles.
Sing Tom Waits.
I love it. It. Natalie Bassingthwaite and Ray Thistlethwaite sing Tom Waits.
Wait.
Make it happen, Australia. Sorry, Master and Cadaver. The guest star of this segment was Hugh Laurie playing Roger.
Melissa George.
I thought he was Dracula.
Melissa George.
Yeah, the other Australian actress.
Yeah.
So what do we think of Hugh Laurie's performance in this?
Oh, that was Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
Didn't pick it at the time.
He was Roger.
I mean, I immediately picked Daniel Radcliffe in the next one.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, like,
he was okay, actually.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie does well. He always does.
Yeah, I was going to argue with you that this was the best segment, and I'm like, oh yeah, the other two kind of sucked way worse than this, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And the story is kind of interesting. There's a bit of intrigue, like what actually happened here. I mean, I want to know.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
I think it got let down by just Homer's murder rampage.
Yeah, just no point to that.
Yeah.
No witnesses.
Well, my first note is slide whistle bonus cell. So,
Oh yeah, that was.
which
that
I admit I got a smile from. It was like,
oh, it's my cell phone.
yeah, it was bad, but I still got a smile out of it. So
Why do I have a down arrow note that says walk Homer?
because Homer's going, I think I'm going to take a walk, and then he just goes from like one side of the screen.
Yeah.
And it could have been a better joke if he just walks like off to the left and then comes back a second later and is like, what? It's not a big boat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then he returns with roller skates on the rollerblades. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say inline skates because I don't know if they were the official branded rollerblades.
That's true, that's fair.
Yeah.
That was a really bad misdirect bit where Homer puts on his glasses with one lens missing, and then what's his face is like looks like he's tweaking Marge's nipples, and she's like, "Oh, you're so good at that." And he takes the glasses off, and he's just playing the radio. But then like
Marge is also like thrusting her chest forward behind
pressed
it,
up against the radio, and then like it's only when he takes the glasses off is there the sound of him trying to tune a radio. It's like
and also Marge is like, "Oh, you're doing such a good job of that." And he didn't
at finding nothing.
He never got a signal. He's clearly not doing a good job of that. This is a bad misdirect. And also, that's not what it looks like when you're looking through glasses.
Yeah.
You don't see the frames. That's how glasses are designed.
Unless you got bad glasses.
Yeah. That are just all frame, no lens.
One lens. Anything else we want to say about the section?
Oh, yeah. I liked the quote. He talks about like he got hit in the head with a jar of low sodium soy sauce, and he says, he sent me napwood.
Yeah, I do like that.
I just like as a bit of wordplay.
Actually, when Marge discovers the soy sauce bottle later in the thing and she sees the like green topper on it, and that's how she determines that it's low sodium, I'm like, okay, that's a good discovery.
Yeah.
Like a good deducement.
Deduction.
Deducement. Wasteland!
Madness!
I'm going to have to go take a deducement later on.
Speaking of deducements, I did like the quick shot of where Homer's like, we need to speak in private, and there's in a cramped lavatory, and he's kind of pressed up, like,
Yeah, and he's just waiting outside,
I thought the ending was a bit shit, though, where it was just like, we all had an antidote, and we're all just passed out for the meantime, because...
Yeah, and it's been how long? It's been like days at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that bit. Sorry, I thought you meant the Sin Elsewhere ending.
No.
Yeah!
I did like the Sin Elsewhere ending, but then they kind of switch it and make it Clockwork Orange for some reason.
Yeah, Maggie.
Why?
I
don't know why Maggie is doing that. Why she suddenly has one eye made up and then she puts on... Does she have a hat?
Yeah, pulls her hat out of the bath and gets the bottle of milk just to be Droog from Clockwork Orange. It's like...
She's probably fantasizing about sugar plums and buttercups. But no, she was dreaming of Clockwork Oranges.
I mean, nice. But I don't like the bit. It's just, I was fine with the Sound Elsewhere bit and be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Why do we need this extra part? I don't know.
Anything else we want to say about Master and Cadaver?
I just wrote, well, that's pretty grim. Went home and just kill crazies, everyone.
Yeah.
I liked the one where he accidentally killed the guy with the flare as he was trying to kill the guy with the butt of the flare.
He loads the flare and then bludgeons the guy with it when he already tried to shoot him with it.
It was just a good visual, but I don't think it was earned. It was pretty bad.
You know what? If a flare is hard to load, it shouldn't be because that's for emergencies. Yep. And, you don't want to really have to fiddle with it when you're looking for a passing plane to look at you.
Right in, flare enthusiasts. We need some expert opinions.
Just want to clarify, we do not mean the jeans. Just any 70s guys out there, just keep that to yourself.
With some disco stew pants.
Yeah, and also Marge, suiciding.
Yeah.
Again, she chooses to eat
Grim.
Yeah.
All right, so I forgot to do it for the first segment, but for this segment, if you could rank Master and Cadaver and this segment alone, what would you give it, BT?
I really don't like that ending, but I like everything else. I'm going to give it a bronze because I'm tired.
Yeah, bronze.
And just to jump back to the board game, whatever it was called.
Participant.
Participfailure.
Yeah, for that ending, I want a participfail.
Yeah,
but,
fucking hated that bit.
I'll give it a participant because, it left me with the exact same feeling as the Transformers one from the first one we did. Mm-hmm. All right, last segment, Tween Light.
Fuck me.
I mean,
fuck me dead.
When did this come out?
10.
Okay, I guess it was still reasonably relevant. But...
Yeah, actually, I guess that was a big Twilight popularity zone.
But even then...
they pumped out those movies in 3 years.
They knew they had to strike quickly while the fan base was still existing.
God. Unlike 50 Shades, which took several years to do.
Fun fact, the last Twilight movie is amazing for about 10 minutes. because they have this stupid. It's clearly the filmmakers was like, we don't care anymore. We just have this huge fight scene with all these superpowered vampires.
And then it turns out that she's the SP person who's like, this is what would happen if we fought.
But for 10 minutes, it's just the most over-the-top, ridiculous, amazing
and everyone
thing ever put to film.
dies and gets ripped apart.
Yeah, and like the only way you can kill a vampire in that universe is to decapitate them, but no one has a sword. They literally just pop each other's heads off.
Yeah.
It's so dumb and it's so great.
And there's really shit CGI werewolves. And it's on snow because of course it is.
Yeah.
And
all right, what's something we liked out of Tweenlight? I'm going to remove it in the editing pay, but just note that there was like 20 minutes of silence then.
Yeah, we went home, thought about it, had a nice cooked meal, came back, sat back in the studio, and we're still silent.
Millhouse turning into a cute little poodle. No.
Oh, the werepoodle thing.
Still didn't really like it.
No.
Oh, the rage is uncontrollable and pop.
But why does he have a parasol? Is that his body? Is it part of him?
You've got a poodle in your parasol.
Oh, that's sad. Get it out. It's going to be scared.
Just waiting.
There's something I like about Bart when, the kids come up to school and Lisa's like, that's a look you'll never see. Smitten. And Bart's like, oh, yeah.
And he looks like Bang Bang Bart after about 1 second.
Just more reason to love me.
Yeah.
But they sort of drop the whole schoolyard element of it very quickly.
Yeah, it would have been better to stay at the school, I think. Because when we go back to the Simpsons house and they're like, oh, we prepared your favorite. We heard you like it. And it's just Flanders. Like, so in this universe, cannibalism is totally normal. Like, no one has an objection at all to killing and eating Flanders.
Like, I mean, I'm not all up on the vampire or definitely the Twilight lore, but it's all about the fresh blood, right?
It's blood. Bleh.
Like, you don't want a cooked Flanders. You want a fresh Flanders, right?
I would think so. Maybe they drained the blood off separately so they could drink that in a nice, maybe like Bloody Mary.
You just reminded me of Colonel Dracula.
Yeah.
Colonel.
That's, I had that in back of my head thinking about that as I said it.
I liked the idea of sort of flipping the Twilight thing on its head and having the Dracula be his dad. I wrote in my notes, Dad Killer.
Nice.
And him sort of embarrassing.
Count Dad Killer. He didn't become a count for nothing.
Sorry. I like sort of that flipping on its head in concept, but this section also sucked.
Yeah, and there's a bit where Lisa, he's all like, oh, my dad embarrasses me all the time. Lisa's like, oh, I know what you mean. And it's got Homer dancing with Santa's little helper. And that's adorable, Lisa, you bastard. Why are you such a bitch in Halloween?
Yes. I have a note that just says, the.
The?
It was an up arrow too. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Maybe it's like a initialization.
Oh no, the H and the E are uncapitalized, so I don't know. I didn't like Homer peeling off Flanders' moustache and eating it as part of that dinner scene. That really made me feel ill.
Even if you wanted to eat someone, that would not be the part you would eat.
No.
It's going to be gross.
It's not like a delicacy.
No.
Another sort of Palpatty moment in this as well was when they find like the Count from Sesame Street, but he fucking looks like Sam the Eagle.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He was blue and it was weird.
And yeah, when you're doing an extended bit that takes as long as the one, ha 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 ha.
Cutting to characters looking bored of the bit is like, yeah, we know because we're bored as well, dick nuts.
Fully.
Yep.
What else do we want to say about this section?
I'm literally out of notes.
I was going to say it's so stupid, like, oh, you saved me from that bus and all the other school crashes, and oh, Edmund or whatever, I love you, let's run away. And I'm like, they just like fall in love so quickly. And then I remembered the source material.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty accurate. Never mind.
All right, so I just want to throw this out there as terms of casting, because this was Daniel Radcliffe playing.
It's Edward in the books and movies. I think they called him Edmund or something to be legally distinct.
I guess.
And who is played by Robert Pattinson, right?
Yes.
So in this, they got Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter man.
The Potter of Harry's.
How does this resonate with you guys?
I mean, there's no reason why you'd get Dan Rad to do this.
Maybe it's just like a very quiet vendetta where Radcliffe's just like, yeah, you know what? You died in my movie, and now I'm gonna steal your food off your plate by playing you in The Simpsons. You fucker.
Dan Rad is the kind of guy that, did you hear about this when he was doing a play?
Yeah,
he always wore the exact same outfit when he was leaving out of the stage door for about 3 to 6 months. so that the paparazzi, like, if they got a new shot of him, it would seem like an old shot because he was wearing the same outfit as he was. Like,
It was pretty funny, yeah.
That's
like,
a pretty
the
good
very
troll,
first
I
time.
gotta
So it was just
say.
like, nah, fuck you, paparazzi. Like, I'm wearing the exact same outfit every single night.
I'm on board with that, actually.
It was
He's
good,
great. But he's been in some really good roles after Harry Potter, like Swiss Army Man, I thought was
I've not got to that yet, but I'm
really
curious.
interesting.
He
But-
plays a corpse.
Yeah, and who farts, and the power of farts make him and Paul Dano like survive the desert island. The one where he's got horns. Is it just called Horns?
Yeah, it's just called Horns.
Okay.
I'm curious about the movie because I read the book and I didn't even finish it because I didn't like it.
Yeah, he's had an interesting career. I like him. I don't think this is his best work.
Danny Cliffs of Rad.
Yeah, it's just sort of a weird thing because I guess at the time maybe Robert Pattinson probably refused this. I think they just went for the whole thing. He's an English actor, they're an English actor, we can make this mesh.
He's an English actor. They need an English character. Together they raise a child.
For he is an English actor.
He
Remains an English actor. Any other notes?
Sorry, I know what you guys are doing, and I appreciate that, but I realized that I was doing Legal Custodians, the theme song that JD makes up for.
I just did a Scrubs rewatch recently, and that is still one of my most favorite bits.
It's like, I wonder, like, that when they figured out that they could do Legal Custodians.
I don't know.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm a janitor.
And together we adopted
a child.
kid.
We're
Legal custodians.
Get it?
I've not seen that bit.
Legal custodians, yeah?
No, I get it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I just haven't seen it.
All right, so how did we think they balanced the horror and the parody in this one?
There
Does
was
the
no
first
parody.
one count as a parody of
No.
Jumanji? I don't think, because it doesn't feel like they're trying for
It's
it.
so half-baked if it is.
Yeah. And then that only really leaves Tweenlight to be a parody, which
It wasn't.
it deviated
Yeah.
very quickly, so...
And it was just really lame and unfunny.
Ended up just being a fat joke against Homer, really.
Yep. Whereas the second one, in terms of the horror, I was like, oh, what's happening? What, like, do you believe him? Is he actually a crazy killer and is delusional, or
Yeah.
did this actually happen? Like, whoa. And then it kind of came a bit undone, but
I kind of like the plot line, though, of, a couple having to commit a murder together. That's good.
Yeah.
marriage.
For the marriage, to save our lives and to keep our secret.
I guess for me, it just didn't come together in any sense of the phrase, like, really.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yes or no, would you watch this Treehouse of Horror again?
Yeah, maybe actually. Wait, hold on.
I do it to think
Maybe.
of better ways to write that second one.
Yeah.
Into something different. Because again, I like the concept. There's a lot going
And
on
make
there.
it into a short film.
Yes, and then direct and
I'm going to avoid it.
win 3 Oscars.
But let's rank this thing. There. B just turned to go first.
I shall participant. I felt neither highs nor lows, just meh. As much as I like the second one or a lot of the ideas in it, that doesn't really come together in an amazing way. And, the first one is just bleh, and the second one's just bah. Sorry, the third one's just bah.
What about
So-
Snur?
Snur is, like the second one's snur. But overall, yeah, just, it's passable. Whatever, it was fine.
George?
I'm going to give it also a catnip tape here. I'm just going to revel in my wittiness for a second.
Nah.
Yes, it is fairly bland. Yeah, I just kind of like that middle section just for like an interesting story idea that was actually horror, which you don't see a lot of. Like that first
A bit more
bullshit that we
suspense.
watched was there weren't really horror concepts or like a horror story. It was just, hey, Transformers or hey, Twilight. Like the Harry Potter one that they've done, and it's like you're just doing a kind of parody of a non-horror thing. Whereas this was like, it felt like, well, this could be a horror short story, but you kind of bungle it, but it's still kind of cool. But overall, the other two are just, that's what you did, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Try again.
Yeah, for me, I forgot to keep doing this throughout, but yeah, every segment for me ranked as participant, so there's
Fair
just no question here that it's a participant for me. This is just such a participating Treehouse of Horror, honestly. Like, And it even has the seeds of a good idea, which is kind of what's disappointing about this one, is that there's a Jumanji bit. There's a fucking Lost at Sea adventure where the stowaway, who, can we trust him? And then, the last section, which I also really liked the idea that it'd tie into Dracula at all, that Edward Cullen would end up being Dracula's son. And I think there was something to mine out of there, but it didn't. And it just ended up turning into a Homer fat joke. And that's really what's so disappointing, is that each segment had something to go off, but it didn't. All right, so overall, this will be a unanimous participant. This will be joining other such episodes as The Wettest Stories Ever Told, which Jordan, me and you reviewed with Jack of Worst Episode Ever.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Not great.
Another vignette sort of one.
Vinaigrette.
And also, there's something about marrying where they try to tackle marriage equality in a...
Oh, yeah, and then Ralph is marrying like a Bengal tiger at the end, and good work, Simpsons.
Yep.
You fucking morons.
All right, guys, we are ready to leave the wasteland.
Finally, civilization at last.
Until the next time we join the wasteland. But before we get out of the wasteland, there are some things that we want to recommend that will bring you joy in your life. Things that are not existing in the wasteland. Something that you will love. Something that you adore. Things from books, TV, music, magazines, IKEA furniture.
Ooh, this is a new concept.
Yes. I'd like to recommend the Pluble.
BT, what is your recommendation for this week?
I mean, it's a pretty soft recommendation, but because I have Amazon Prime, so I can watch American Gods, I also watched the Purge series. It's not bad. The acting is surprisingly good in it, but sometimes the script is just stupid.
The movie ones, or?
No, I've seen the movie once. This is actually, they made a series.
They made a TV series.
Yeah, which honestly makes a lot more sense for the concept because you can tell more vignettes and smaller stories.
Cool.
It's not great, but it's not bad. It's okay-ish, so it gets an okay-ish recommendation.
So, sorry, Amazon Prime you can get in Australia?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing like a fucking telemarketing thing right now. But
why, what
honestly,
kind of wonderful things are on Amazon Prime?
But honestly, I didn't know that. Is that...
Yeah, it's because
you didn't need to VPN that shit or anything?
Nope. Because American Gods is, I think Amazon has dropped it, but in trying to make it get a third season, I decided I'd actually pay for it. So I'm doing that, and then they got a third season. So you're welcome, American Gods and Neil Gaiman. Because hey, you know what? You were cancelled. I got a subscription. Someone else picked you up for third season. Coincidence? Absolutely not.
Next, you're going to tell me that HBO Go is going to be live in Australia.
A bit too fucking late.
Yeah. Sorry, HBO, you really shut the bed.
Jordan, what's your recommendation?
Oh, I have so much to talk about, Elliot. So, I finished Spider-Man, finally, on PS4. I did all the DLC.
Really?
I got 100% everything. I did all the achievements because I really loved just swinging around like dicking on people. It was so much fun. My life is going to be ruined because Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X and X-2 have come out in the last month for Switch.
It's not 12, it's 10-2.
No, exactly. Because this is I think the third or fourth platform that I've bought Final Fantasy VII on. And now I'm determined to now I've portable. I can play it all the time. And I'm like, oh, wait, shit. Final Fantasy X came out in the same month. I'm going to be playing Blitzball every moment I've got in my life. So that is going to be a huge pain in my ass. And then they were like, hey, we're doing the Phoenix Wright. We're going to release the trilogy of that. And I'm like, oh, man, that was a really great game for DS. And now I have to I've downloaded that and I'm started playing that. And then EB had a sale where it was like 2 for 1, and I'm like, oh. So what I decided to do was I feel like there's 3 seminal PS4 games that I haven't played. God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Witcher 3 is not specifically PS4, but it's like a game that everyone's like, it was really good. So I got them. They're in my back catalog now because fuck, I've got too much stocked up in front of that. So they're going to have to wait.
They are 3 time-consuming games.
Yeah. I got Witcher 3 when I bought my Xbox, and I still haven't got to it because I just know the time sink of it.
And because, of course, I had to get the Game of the Year edition for all 3 of them. So they've all got all the DLC. Yep. And I'm like, I'm going to need to wait. Yep. Anyway, that's all for games. However, I've been watching I'm so lame. I've been watching this really cute anime called K-On!, which is about high school girls in a band. They're in the light music club. That's what K-On! Is about. It's light music. But they form a rock band, and the music is actually really good. It's like stupid, fluffy shit. In fact, one of the songs is called Fo Fo Time, which is like fluffy time, because it's Japanese, right? But I'm really enjoying it. And if you love like cute, like high school anime, this is the one for you. Oh, I mean, Nichijou is like good, absurdist humor, but this is like just really cute. And a podcast I just stumbled across because we all love Monster Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The McElroys have left Polygon, and they have their own podcast called My Brother and Me, which is they include Travis, their kind of middle brother. So
I've heard of this one.
yeah. I mean, they're on episode like 450 now.
Holy shit.
But basically what they do now is like an advice show. So people write in and be like, this is my weird situation. What do you think I should do? And then they just riff on that for about an hour. Like there's about, like they were talking about, okay, for example, if you could have like chitin, like a beetle, like an armored body, what human trait would you give up for that? And one's like, maybe like empathy, like maybe jumping. I mean, shit, I'm
How
really
often do I ever use that?
I'm really struggling to think of the last time I ever had to jump. So
True, it doesn't come up a lot.
yeah. So yeah, that is really enjoyable.
No, I've actually heard a lot of positive buzz around My Brother and Me. So like, I'm glad to hear it from you because like, I might dive
definitely
in
very
myself.
fun.
What I'm into. Okay, just quick soft mention for Adam Ruins Everything. Like, this is one thing where I'm like, I feel like I'm the last person to be over this because it was a YouTube series and now it's like a true TV show. Like, if you can get access to it, like, I highly recommend it. Like, it's sort of filling the void of like Cracked articles for me because I think we were talking about it briefly before is Cracked.com has really gone down the tube since they like fired a lot of their awesome fucking article writers.
Like 80% of their stuff.
Yeah, I tried to stick with them because I'm like, I didn't know any of the writers when I first came here, and they became my favorites. I may as well give this new lot a shot, and it's just, something off.
I think they're doing a lot more like contracting / temp work as opposed to like having full-time staff writers.
But also, I'm going to recommend the Labo VR kit. And
yes.
So last week, I was so sick.
It's true. You look like you were dying.
Fortunately, my pre-order of the Labo and Yoshi's Woolly World and a bunch of Amiibo came out. So yeah, while I was picking up some medication, I picked up all my EB pre-orders and I'm like, the Labo kit, okay, that's something to keep myself entertained while I'm like otherwise just fucking doing my Scrubs marathon. And honestly, the Labo kits have always been somewhat of a soft recommend for me because like I like the builds, but the games kind of suck. But the VR, like, I mean, the games still kind of suck, but they're way more engaging and way more entertaining. The builds are way cooler, and the sense of satisfaction that I got out of doing this was just amazing. Absolutely recommend the Labo kit. Guys, I think that's it for the Simpsons Index. The third Wasteland.
Yeah, like the wall behind you is giving me like an optical illusion vibe right now. I think my eyes are really losing it, man.
And you know something else cool? This is episode 126 of the podcast. This was the 6th Treehouse of Horror-thon. And this is the 6th part of the Wasteland that we've done.
What?
Numbers.
What was I doing?
I don't know. You were just so shocked at the revelation of 3 6s lining up vaguely that...
All right, I think it's about time we get out of here. Thank you, Wasteland Band, for joining me again for this marathon of awfulness.
I mean, I won't say it's our pleasure. I mean, it's our
it's
responsibility.
Our duty and our passion to do this.
And no one else will, so...
Well, for the third Wasteland, the Season 30 / Treehouse of Horror-thon, I've been Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's been Jordan Frost.
Was it? Who? Me?
And that's been BT Calloway.
Ahoy.
We've made it through the third Wasteland.
Thank goodness.
That's all the mustard in the way there.
You can apologize in hell. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes.
Coming to you. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Can you... Nice.
Sorry, just realized participant rearranges into Captain Trip. which is
nice.
Which is Captain Trips is the name of the
The super
disease that
flu.
wipes out like 95% of the world. In the Stand by Stephen King.
Nice.
Which they haven't done a Treehouse of Horror-thon.
Oh, you'd need the whole fucking episode to do it. Jeez, I don't know how you could do it in 7 minutes. You'd need
You could do
20.
a little quick thing about a super flu, but not the whole.
Yeah, not the whole thing.
It would just be the super flu.
Yeah.
Super Flu with Captain Trip?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Is that a folk band or... No, that's a
Hey,
funk band.
there.
Super Flu with Captain Trip would definitely be a funk
Well, that's
band,
our
right?
Wasteland Band name. I'm writing that down.
Super Flu and Captain Trip.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Why am I so gassy? This is disgusting.
Hey, what's that from?
Sitting on a park bench.
No, that's the line. I can't.
I don't know the words except for park bench.
Nice. What song is that though?
Aqualung
That's
by...
an Aqualung.
I never had like cable TV as a kid either, so it was probably not something I would have ever
Yeah.
seen.
No, I only saw it because, I didn't have BT.
You never had BT. Away.
You didn't have BT back in...
I didn't have cable TV, but I had BitTorrent, the other BT.
Some say that's where I came from.
You deserve to drink chicken dick soup.
Jesus.
It sounds like a good yeah. Well, why don't you go eat some chicken dick soup, motherfucker? Just as you keep giving someone hell.
Yeah.
See, because I was listening to your episode with Positive and Springfield, like and subscribe, and...
Anti-ASMR, you say?
ASMR.
Oh.
Anyway. And Homer's like, he was going to poison the pie. The pie was...
The boy was poisoned.
The pie was poisoned.
Oh dear God, the boy was poisoned.
So I had a reason to go out to Castle Towers, go pick up some medication to...
Spread your sickness.
Yeah. Yeah, all over the Castle Towers.
You could even say you took a super flu with Captain Trip.
Ooh.
The Roback.
Thai foodie.
Thai foodie on the Rudy.
Thai foodie and the blowfish.
Let her cry.
Oh no.
What was their main hit?
No. Pad Thai.
In the chair fall down my rail.
What was their big hit again?
Let her cry.
The other one. Was that it?
I only want to eat Thai food. Come on, it writes itself.
Oh, Hold My Hand. No, that's different. That's the other one.
Beatles?
No, I was thinking of Oh, bless your heart.
Oh, Reef.
Yeah, Reef.
Oh, my home. The song that you can only sing at 11.
Hang your fingers through my soul.
All right. That song's fucking boss.
I don't even give a shit about The Simpsons anymore at this stage. My God.
Oh God, have we broken Jordan?
Yay, the Wasteland finally broke him.
Fucking
No,
everything.
It's about time it took one of us. He had easily the most delicious looking.
Hey.
Mm. Welcome back,
should have
friends.
done that in the mic.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
been
but no,
really gassy.
Oh,
Closed room, Elliot. God damn.
it's like chili and pad thai.
Nice.
Chili pad thai.